Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sally and this is my channel Secret Life of a Seamstress, where I love to talk all about sewing and making clothes. Thank you for being here today and I hope you're all doing really well. So today's video is going to be a slightly different kind of video. I'm going to be talking about when I recently went to have a colour analysis done. So this is something that we've talked about on this channel quite a lot recently, and actually if it wasn't for you guys I probably never would have had this done. So back in mid-July I went to have my colours analysed, and the reason that I did this was actually because on this channel obviously I talk a lot about clothes and I share my makes quite a lot, and lots of you notice that I tend to stick to the same kind of colours, the same sort of colour palette. I'm always drawn to neutrals and paler colours and sort of softer tones and things like that. So I have been asked quite a few times if I had my colours done already, and when I said I hadn't, lots of you suggested that it would be really interesting if I did, and you pretty much said that it's been life-changing in some cases. So a little while ago a lovely lady called Chelsea from Colour Me Beautiful contacted me on Instagram and asked if I would like to go and see her and have a colour analysis done. So I just want to stress that this wasn't gifted in any way. I did pay for this myself. I was given a slight discount, but it was paid for by me. It's not gifted in any way. So yeah, I did put it off for a little while. I will admit to being quite skeptical about this whole process. I wondered how important it could be. I wondered how worthwhile it could be. It's not a cheap thing to have done. It is an investment. So for a while I did put it off. But then I kept thinking about it and I kept having conversations with lots of you who had had it done, and it seemed really interesting. I'm actually coming sort of into my 40s now and I'm getting older, and I feel as though my style is changing. I'm changing quite a lot, and obviously the way that I want to dress is changing quite a lot as well. And you probably would have seen some of that evolution here on my channel. So I thought, actually, you know what, I'm going to do this to just invest in myself, to do something for me. I think it will be really worthwhile for my own handmade journey. It will hopefully stop me wasting fabric. It will hopefully stop me buying the wrong colours. And as you'll know, on this channel I talk quite a lot about trying to make a sort of cohesive wardrobe with lots of things that work well together, and with things that I'm just gonna want to reach for and want to wear every day. So I felt as though spending this money was really gonna be a big or a good investment into that. So Chelsea actually lives quite a way away from me. It was about an hour and a half or so's drive, so it was a little road trip that I went on by myself, and I had such a lovely day. It was lovely to meet Chelsea and have the morning together. And then after that I actually went off to a nearby village and did a little bit of fabric shopping. So I will leave you with the clips of the day now. There's going to be a little bit of voiceover, a little bit of coming back to me here. But at the end of all the clips I'll just come back and share with you the results of the colour analysis, what I brought from the fabric shop and all of that kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoy.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life.
So once I finally got to Chelsea's house, we had a lovely little chat in her studio. It was really nice to see her studio. She is a sewer as well, and she had all of her machines set out and something that she was working on, so we had a little bit of chat about sewing as well. So when we got on to the actual colour analysis process, we sat down and Chelsea told me how the process would work. She explained how Colour Me Beautiful do analyse colours a little bit differently to maybe how other companies work, in that they don't give you a season. I know lots of you have asked me what season I am. Am I an autumn? Am I a spring or a summer or whatever? I don't really know too much about that, but they don't analyse in seasons. They analyse more in tones. So I'm not going to attempt to explain too much about how they do analyse your colours, but I will leave some information in the description below this video so that if you are interested in how they do the analysis, you can pop over and read more information on the website. So we sat down, we had a little chat about the kind of colours that I am always drawn to, the colours that I feel that suit me, and also the kind of shops that I tend to buy my own clothes in when I do buy ready to wear clothes. We also talked about the kind of clothes that I like to wear day to day. We also talked about my hair colour, my eye colour and my skin tone and things like that. Once we'd had our little chat, I then had to remove all of my makeup and sit barefaced in front of a mirror in daylight so that we could get the best idea of what colours really suited me. I will admit that this part was a little intimidating. It's not very often that you sit barefaced in front of a mirror for a long period of time and I did feel quite exposed at this point. So once I'd removed all of my makeup, Chelsea then held up various groups of fabric against my chin and asked me to really look at how my skin tone, eyes and colour changed with the different colours that I was holding against my face. Now I'll be honest, it did take me a little while to get into this, and at first I really couldn't tell the difference between the colours that I was holding against my face. I didn't feel as though there was a massive change in anything. However, I think after a little while I realised that I was actually looking more at the colours and the fabrics than I was at the difference they were making to my own face. And after a while I kind of got into it and I realised that certain colours really did change my skin tone and make my eyes look brighter, and that other colours really drained me. So throughout this process, Chelsea asked me how I felt about the different colours I was holding up against my face, and then she would share her opinion too. It wasn't pushy in any way. Chelsea is a really lovely, gentle person. I felt completely comfortable with her. So as we got more into the process, I realised that the colours that really suited me were warm tones rather than harsh, cold tones. The warmer colours really brought out the green in my eyes and warmed my skin tone, where I can often feel quite pale. The colours that I really noticed suited me best were camel browns, khakis, warm creams, and quite surprisingly buttermilk yellow, and also peach and some red tones as well, which I was really surprised about. So after a lot more discussion and a bit of trial and error with the colours and fabrics, we came to the conclusion that I'm a warm tone, which includes soft and warm tones and also light and warm tones. I came away with a lovely wallet full of shades that suited me best, and I'll show you these in more detail at the end of the video. So after the colour analysis for clothing, we then moved on to makeup, and I didn't actually realise that a makeup consultation was going to be included in my appointment, and I have to admit to feeling a little bit nervous about this part. So I am someone that has worn makeup for years. I think since I was quite a young teenager, I've worn a little bit of mascara, a bit of blusher, all of those kind of things, but I've never really been massively into makeup. So I have worn the same makeup for I don't know how long. So it's definitely more than 10 years I've been wearing the same makeup. I've never really had any kind of makeup consultation done. I've always kind of gone with what I think suited me. So I actually think this part was probably the most interesting part of the day in a way. So we tried out lots of makeup shades that Chelsea advised would suit my warm and soft and light tones. And I have to say I was so pleasantly surprised with the result. I ended up trying a light foundation and also an under eye concealer for dark circles and blemishes. And I then tried some eyeshadow. Now I haven't worn eyeshadow for years. I used to wear it quite a lot when I was going out to work, but since becoming a mum and staying at home more, eyeshadow has not been part of my daily makeup routine, and definitely not the kind of eyeshadow where you blend things and try different colours and things like that. So that was all new to me, but Chelsea was very good at advising me how to apply it, blending the different shades and things like that. So I ended up trying some peachy toned eyeshadows, which I blended all around my eye up to my eyebrows, and then we tried a khaki eyeshadow which I applied in the corners of my eyes. And I have to say, I just could not believe the difference that it made to my eyes. My eyes are quite green and they're quite bright as well. And the khaki really brought out the green in my eyes. And eyeliner is something as well that I haven't worn for many years. I was one of these people that used to attempt the whole flicky liquid eyeliner thing when that was a thing a few years ago. I wasn't very good at it, I don't think. But since realising that I just couldn't be bothered with that anymore, eyeliner just hasn't really been part of my makeup routine. But we tried a coffee coloured eyeliner and just applied it to the top of my eyes and then around the corner as well. And again, I just felt like it brightened my eyes so much. So if ever I wear an eyeliner, I would always go for black, but it appears that actually that is really harsh for my skin tone again, and I should be going for more browns, more khakis, because those are the colours that suit me. So I really did like the coffee coloured eyeliner as well. And then again, so mascara again is something that I've worn for many years, and I've always gone for the black mascara. So I've been wearing that for goodness knows how long, but Chelsea actually advised me to try a brown coloured mascara, which I've never used before. And again, I just felt like it looked so much softer than my usual harsh black mascara. So I was really pleased with the eye makeup results. So then we moved on to lipsticks, and I will admit that the lipsticks I found quite bright for me. So again, I'm quite a sort of minimal looking lipstick, natural sort of lipstick kind of wearer, I guess. I never really go for any sort of bright tones, but we did try a couple of brighter tones than I'm used to, and it took me a little while, but I did end up quite liking them for going out and about, and they were sort of more corally toned lipsticks, so an orangey shade rather than a harsh red again. So that is a very quick overview of the whole colour consultation process. This process from start to finish was around 2.5 hours, I think, so it is quite lengthy. Obviously I've cut it down quite a lot here for you, otherwise this would be a very long video, but Chelsea really did go into a lot of detail with me about the kind of colours and tones that suited me, and I came away with my lovely wallet of fabric colours that I can use for shopping and things like that. So once my consultation was finished, we chatted a little bit about fabric shops and sewing while we were having the consultation, and Chelsea told me that in a nearby village there was a lovely fabric shop called the Fabric Boutique, and you may follow them on Instagram already. So I took myself off again on a little half-an-hour road trip to this next village, and it was so pretty, such a lovely little village. So I had a little bit of lunch there on my own and just had a little explore. And I popped into the Fabric Boutique shop and had a really nice browse around on my own with my new colour analysis at the forefront of my mind. So I'll leave you here with a little clip of the Fabric Boutique. It was such a lovely shop, and I so wish I had something like this nearby to me. The lady that runs the shop was absolutely lovely. We had a little chat about my channel and about where I'd been and my colour analysis and all that kind of stuff, and she knew Chelsea too. So we had a little bit of a chat about that and what she was making and the kind of things she does in the shop. And of course I left with some fabric. I couldn't not, so I will share with you at the end of the video what I brought. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an idea of what to expect if you are going to be going for a colour consultation. Obviously I'm not quite sure if that's how everyone does it. I think it's probably along the same kind of lines, but obviously every company probably analyses slightly differently. So let me show you my wallet. I might need to take these little slips out of the plastic because I think they might sort of glare a little bit on the camera. I absolutely love this. I think as a fabric lover, I just love the little squares of fabric in here, let alone the colours and whether or not they might suit me. I just loved all the shades of fabric and seeing them all neatly cut out like that, and I'm sure if you're a sewer you probably will too. So I think what surprised me the most about this whole colour consultation thing is that I was expecting to come back or go and be told, this colour doesn't suit you, you shouldn't wear it. So for example, for me, red has always been something that I would never wear. And I was expecting to go and be told, you shouldn't wear red, and that's it. But I think what I realised from this particular colour consultation is that you can actually wear any colour you want really, and it's more about the shade and tone of that colour. So coming back to red again, let me take this out. I never wear red. I don't think you probably ever see me in anything red, and if you have, I think it's quickly made its way out of my wardrobe as fast as it's come in because I just don't think it suits me at all. But I was given this shade of reddish tones, so this is in my warm card. So there are lots of different sort of orangey red shades, so you can see It starts with quite a bright or a deep red, and then it makes its way to more orangey and coral tones. So if I ever want to wear red, I just need to make sure that the kind of red I go for is like an orangey toned red, and that will be what suits me better. So that is really good to know actually, because as I say, I've always just steered away from colours like that, really bright colours, because I just feel as though they drain me, and now I know why, so that's really interesting. And another thing I thought was really interesting was black and white. So for me, I don't very often wear black, like stark black. I just have never really felt that comfortable in it, and now I know why as well. So I think maybe like a harsh black isn't necessarily my colour, but what we realised looking at my colours and what looked good against my skin tone was that I maybe can't wear a really sort of stark black, but I can wear a warmer charcoal black. So if you see on this card here, I'm not sure how well these are going to show up on the camera obviously, but we've got the darker, this is like a charcoal grey, which looks almost black, but it's actually like a grey tone. And it was really interesting because in a recent video, I think I actually mentioned that I have a lovely Atelier Brunette dark charcoal fabric, and I said in that video that I feel as though that colour suits me more than a harsh black. Funnily enough, I have recently made a couple of things in black, including my Blanca flight suit, which I actually really enjoy wearing, and I feel quite good in that. And I wonder if it's because the flight suit has got quite an open neck, it's not sitting quite as high on my face, so I can kind of get away with it. So I think that was another thing that I came away with as well, that you might not necessarily feel like certain colours suit you, or they're not exactly right for you, but you can still wear them, just maybe wear something different right against your face, like a scarf or a cardigan or something like that. So again, similarly with white, and this is something that I've noticed in myself as well, a really harsh white doesn't necessarily suit me, but an off-white, or what is this called, a soft white or a cream, will suit me much better. So even the top that I'm wearing today in this Fabric Godmother white embroidered cotton, this is not like a harsh white, it's a kind of off-white, so I feel much better in this than I would with a really bright white. And I've noticed that as well with t-shirts and things that I've worn, that sometimes I feel as though a really white t-shirt will drain me. So I just found that really interesting. So yeah, I have this lovely wallet of colours. Oh, another one as well. Let me show you this one. This one is probably my favourite strip of colours. I absolutely love all of the colours in this strip. So you can see that it ranges from khaki, and then we've got like a rusty colour, and then a corally pink or salmon pink, I think that's called. Golden brown and camel, and you'll probably know that these are the kind of colours that I'm really drawn to. I love khaki and I love camel and I love brown tones, and also the navy as well. So navy is a really interesting one too, and I think similarly to black, you can have so many different tones of navy, and sometimes a really harsh, really dark navy doesn't suit me very well, and I've noticed that as well, that it just kind of drains me. But when we put let me find it, this navy against my skin, I noticed again how much this really brought out my eye colour. So this is like a French navy, it's called light navy, and it's such a lovely tone. So if ever I want to go for navy, and I do go for navy quite a lot, I need to go for more of this sort of lighter navy rather than a really dark. So yeah, so interesting, and I love having this little wallet. I'm going to carry this around with me in my handbag. If I ever go shopping or fabric shopping in person, I'm going to be taking this along with me, and what you can do then is just take the cards out and hold them up against the garments that you're considering buying, or the fabric or whatever, and you'll know then whether or not it's something that should or shouldn't suit you. So I just want to stress as well that obviously this isn't a hard and fast rules. You don't have to only wear these colours. It's just a guideline really, and this is something that Chelsea wanted to make clear to me too. It's not about saying you can or can't wear certain colours. It's more about looking at the shades and tones, but also thinking about how colours look against your face. So if I, for example, want to wear something that's a really harsh red or harsh black, if I add something around my neck like a scarf or a gold necklace or something like that, then it's just going to take that harshness down. I also probably should mention that I think you can get a half colour analysis or a full colour analysis. I went for the full colour analysis, which is why I've got so many different tones here. I think if you get the half analysis, you get less, or not quite as broad a colour range given to you at the end. So as for the makeup, I absolutely loved the makeup that I tried on, and I did end up buying a few bits that I tried. So Colour Me Beautiful do these really lovely snap cases, and they have a magnet inside, and then all of your blushes and eyeshadows and things like that just magnet into this little case. And I thought that was so clever, and then they all kind of slot together as well, so the more shades that you add, you can kind of just snap them into this case. I forgot to mention about my blusher actually, so I did try this sort of corally shaded blusher. I normally go for a really bright pink blusher, so that was a change as well, and I really like this shade. It's really sort of a bit more understated, I guess, than what I would normally wear, but I feel as though it suits me much better, so that's good. And then I also went for the eyebrow pencil that we tried, which again is slightly lighter than the one that I would normally use. This is shade Blonde. Comes with a little eyebrow comb on the top as well. And then I did go for the eyeliner too, and that was in shade Coffee. I also went for the brown mascara and one of the lipsticks. This is the lipstick, it's called Spiced Peach. So this is one of the ones that is slightly brighter than I would normally wear day to day, but I'm gonna keep this for when I go out and about and just remember that I need to change my makeup up now and again. I would say out of all of these makeup pieces, the mascara is the one that I'm struggling the most with, because I'm just not used to seeing my eyes not in black mascara. They do look a little bit sort of more fair with the brown mascara, so what I'm doing at the moment is using this one and then just doing a very slight little bit of black as well, just so that they look that little bit darker. But I'm really pleased with this makeup. It's really reasonably priced as well. It's not too expensive at all, it's really affordable, so I was really pleased with that. It was actually my birthday at the end of July, so I ended up putting a few bits of these makeup items onto my birthday list as well. And all of that is in my Liberty bag, which I made and shared with you recently. So this bag is absolutely huge. You can see that I can fit loads of makeup in here. But yeah, it's working really well because I no longer have everything spilling out everywhere. So let me show you the lovely fabrics I brought from my fabric boutique as well. It took me quite a while to choose these. I had very much at the forefront of my mind the colours that I should and shouldn't be going for. I did play it quite safe in the end, and I went for my favourite sort of blue tones. So I ended up buying 2.5 meters of this lovely William Morris viscose. So this is the print on it. I didn't actually realise this was a William Morris actually until I got it home and looked on the website and realised that it was. It was one of those prints where I thought, oh, that looks familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. And then when I got home and looked it up on the website, I realised, of course, it's a William Morris print. I love William Morris prints, so this is an absolute beauty, and it feels like such good quality as well. I haven't washed this or anything yet, and I still don't know really what I'm going to make with it. I think I got 2.5 meters, maybe 2 meters, I can't remember now, but I think it's going to be a top of some kind at some point. Then I also went for this lovely fabric. I'm not sure what this is actually. I'll try and list these below if they're still on their website. It was a little while ago now that I brought them. This is this is a viscose again, but it's got this lovely woven stripe through it, and then also a dobby texture to it as well. So again, it's in my favourite sort of navy tones. I hope this is going to suit me, with like an off-white as well. So I thought that would be a nice, safe tone to go for. This is so lovely. I love it so much. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make with this yet, but I think it would make a really nice blouse. Immediately I just thought of another Anthea blouse like what I'm wearing, but maybe I need to branch out and make something different. I don't know. Let me know what you would make with these fabrics. Give me some inspiration. So I think my result and what I came away from the day is that I feel as though having that done was absolutely worth it. I found it so interesting, and it was really interesting as well to see if the colours and tones that I thought suited me actually did suit me. And I would say that there were a few things that I definitely wasn't surprised about, and a few things that I definitely was very surprised about, like the red tones and the other colours that I can wear that I may maybe previously would have thought that I couldn't, like yellows and purples and things like that. So it's definitely going to be influencing what I buy in the future, I think. And yeah, I feel as though it was just something nice to do for me. It was kind of a birthday present in the end. As I say, it's not a cheap thing to do, but I did feel as though it was a good investment, as I said at the beginning of the video. And also I feel like it's really useful for my handmade wardrobe going forward, and hopefully it will just help me to streamline my own wardrobe even more so that I continue to make and buy things that I love and I'm going to wear. So I hope I've included enough information for you. I will leave Chelsea's details and the Colour Me Beautiful website and everything in the description of this video. So if you want any more information, you can just pop over and have a look. I'll also leave the Fabric Boutique's details in the description as well, so you can pop over and follow them and look at the website. You feel free to ask me any questions or leave any comments. Let me know if you're surprised by my analysis, any of the colours that you're surprised about as well, like I was. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Obviously, this isn't my usual kind of video. I mainly talk all about sewing and knitting and crafting, but I do think this is relevant to my handmade journey as well. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love you to do so. And if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a like as well. Otherwise, take care everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another video soon. Bye.